everybody, and welcome to Paper Wishes Vlog. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I'm really excited to bring you from our friends at Heartfelt Creations their amazing Dazzling Dahlia collection. Let me go through these. These are the 2 stamps for Dazzling Dahlia. They're quite large and beautiful. That's how those stamps look. And then there's a sort of accessory piece here, the dahlias and leaves. Gosh, I should have thought ahead about these stickers. There we go. The little stems and leaves. And then, of course, we've got the Dazzling Dahlia dies that coordinate with the larger blossoms. 2 of them there. And then we've got the 3D Dahlia shaping mold, which looks like this right here. It's this great piece for getting that 3D look we love. Okay, so let's get right to this and show you some projects. This first one is one that, whoops, it's upside down. This one my friend Debbie made, and you can see, look at the dimension on these things. They're gorgeous. She used Butterfly Meadow paper pack, and she also used the bigger leaves and ferns cutting dies from hot off the press for her leaves, and just mix those in. The ink pads that she used, if you want to look below our video, there's a drop-down list, and all of those ink pads are listed there, as well as all the other supplies, so I won't get into that, but I'm going to show you how to make, step by step, make these beautiful dahlias. Okay, and then we've got our next one here. So for this one, I put this on a slimline card. So Debbie's card was a 6.5 by 5 inch card. This one is an 8.5 by 3.5 inch card. I also used the bigger leaves and ferns right here, cut those out of green cardstock, then inked those a little bit with some dark green evergreen ink. And then I built up my beautiful dahlia here, and it's got 1, 2, 3 layers, and then these beautiful leaves. So I'm going to start off by showing you how to do the mold and how that all worked. And then I've got one more project at the end to show you. I used, for my beautiful paper, gingham. This is gingham #1 paper pack, and I used the larger size gingham for that. And then, of course, my little greetings are the script greeting dazzles stickers. All right, so the first thing you want to do is use your stamps. Okay, I use these well-loved ones. Oh, there's my little bug. Okay, and stamped each one of these. You'll notice right here that they've got these cute little bugs. Those are going to come into play here pretty soon. And then for this one, I used the leaves from the other set, from the leaves and stems set. Stamped this one in purple violet, and then the evergreen. So once we get to this part, the larger blossoms have these great dies, and they have the little bug right here. Why do they have those little bugs? Well, not only are they really cute to add on, like Debbie did right here, they are a great way to position your flower, because each one of these blossoms is just a tiny bit different, so you'd spend time going around and around lining it up perfectly. Your bug is right there, so it's really easy to align. It's going to go like that. All right, same with the other one. I like to, before I put these through the die cutting machine, we have a new kind of low tack stencil tape. Stencil tape, sure, but they're great for keeping your dies in position, so there's no slipping around. So just a little piece of that would keep everything in place, like that. Okay, and same goes with the other one. Now the leaves do not have a die with them, but they were really straightforward and easy to cut out. I just grabbed my little scissors and just snip, snip, snip around, no big deal. All right, so after we get to that part, then we run them through our die cutting machine, and we're gonna end up with things that look like this, okay? And then the coloring. So here are some that I already colored. Here are the leaves. All right, so for this one, I started off with canary yellow and Mauve Moment. So I added the canary yellow first. These little dauber tools that we have are really nice to work with. So you don't have to color the center one. I ended up doing it on these, but really the only center that's going to show is the one at the top. So I'm just going to color this part with yellow, the leaves. All right. And then I'm going to go with the mauve. I really should be using my craft mat, so I'm not getting ink everywhere. All right. And we're just going to be adding that mauve right around the edges there. So after this, now we're going to load up our 3D mold. You'll notice here that each part of the mold has these little notches, and that's to help you so you're not struggling to fit it on there. So every part has a little notch except this bottom corner right here. That does not have a notch. So you know when it's connected like that, you're good to go. If you turn it the other way, it's not going to connect. So we're going to place, there's two ways that you can place your images. You can place them stamp side down, in which case they're going to curve in one direction, or you can place them stamp side up. All right, we're going to place ours stamp side up so that we get all that dimension that we want. So the leaves we're going to place stamp side down. Oops. All right, now we're going to take a little mist here, just some water, just making it just a little bit damp. You don't want them wet. Okay, now they're going to fit together like this. Okay, you're going to have a little bit of a tight fit. We're going to bring in our die cutting machine. It's just the regular standard Big Shot with a 6-inch wide platform. I took out the platform and I'm just using the plates. Putting this through. This might be kind of noisy because these are brand new plates. So we're running this through. Oh, that's not bad. And you'll notice when I'm running it through, there's not a whole lot of pressure here, and that's because you just don't need that much pressure. You're looking for nice even pressure. There we go. I like to run it through one way and then the other way. Long as I've got it in there, why not? Okay, so we've got ours going like this. We've got our leaves. These just take a few minutes to dry. All right, so now that I've got this loaded up, I'm gonna load another batch just to show you what they're like when they're going face down, because it's an entirely different look. A little mist. Oops, they slipped a little bit. All right, here we go. Okay. So now we've got some, so these are sort of concave down and these are domed up. And that is the difference there. Okay, now I've got a couple of one of these here. So what we're gonna do is, it's best to let these dry a little bit, but I'm gonna show you on Debbie's card, she used some that are layered and domed up and some that are layered concaved up rather, and some that are domed, okay? So if you wanted to do that, you would just layer them, like the large ones like this, and you'll notice when you push down, they're curving up. On this one, they just curve and dome nicely, Okay, so that's the difference. How she made these, just take another one of your small petals, kind of pinch those in a little bit, and then you're going to just curve them up like this. All right, and then a little bit of hot glue. It's really all you need to kind of keep all of that together. And then that would just go in the center once you're layering all of those, okay? So let's move on, and I'm gonna finish showing you the last steps of this one. All right, so we've got these going. Now these are the ones that I did at their face down, okay? So these were the second batch that I did. And these are still kind of wet, but they usually take about 15 minutes to really get nice and dry. Or you can just blast them with a hairdryer or your heat gun. And I'm just giving those a little bit of a pinch at the end. And it's just changing the look of them. Okay, now I only used 3, so I only need 3 of these. Getting my glue, this is my Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. We're just going to be putting a little bit of glue for each one of these, and the first 2 are large, so I offset those, meaning that there's like putting a petal between the space of the one before it. Okay, and this one is the only small one we're going to use, and we're going to offset that as well, making sure those petals are between the other ones. Now I'm going to grab this little foam and this ball tool. Now if you don't have a foam block at home, you could use like an old mouse pad or even some craft foam, something that's thick. I've even used a pillow at home when I like forgot my tools. And you want to use something that's got a nice rounded, and you want to just kind of do that. See how everything is just kind of pinching together there? And you do that while the glue is still wet. Okay, so now we've got this lovely dimension. Okay, and then I just put another layer of glue in here, and I just sprinkled on, this is some of this yellow pollen. Okay, get this at Paper Wishes, sprinkle that in, and then just tap off the excess, and that's how I'm getting this look right here. And then I'm just gluing this here over my ferns, and then I'm just gluing these leaves around. Now remember, with the leaves, we stamped them using this dark green, this evergreen, and then I just added a little bit more of the evergreen, just lightly with this little dauber, and they came out beautifully like that. All right, so let's move on to the next project. Right, this is just a little plaque I made, a little happy birthday plaque, and I thought how cute to use our little easel to prop that up on. You'll notice that this has to go like this for shipping because it has to lay flat, but when you get this, find the spot that you like for positioning and just put a little bit of hot glue right there, and then it keeps it nice and sturdy. So how cute to put this out whenever there's a birthday, you know? So maybe if you're having a special lunch or a dinner, instead of a card, you could give this and somebody could take it and put that on their desk, or it could be even a yearly thing to bring out every year for somebody's birthday. So that's a little fun idea. Let me show you what I used to make this project. Right, so lots of goodies here. So we've got the new Secret Garden paper pack, and on the back of all the bold patterns, we've got these lovely sort of vine and leaves, and so that's what this green is right here. And then of course I used my chipboard supersized labeled piece. And this is 5 3/4 by 8 inch, okay? So it's a nice size. And then I also used my fancy lattice background from white cardstock. So once I covered my chipboard with that paper, I just spread some glue out, covered that, turned this over, and then just used my little scissors to trim the paper even with the edge there. And then I found just using a sanding block right like that, especially in these corners, just made a nice tight fit there. So then die cut my fancy lattice out of white cardstock, glued that on. You could just use regular white glue with that, or you could use, our, Cosmic Shimmer Specialist acrylic glue, or you could use sticky specs to put that on. And then I started building my little flower scheme here. And I used the Dahlia and leaves. I stamped those with just green stems, and then I used Blue Lagoon. And I also used for the centers just a little bit of canary yellow right here. And then I used my dauber, and I just sort of lightly went around that, and with the same color of Blue Lagoon. I put 2 dahlias here, stamped dahlias, one going up this way. And then I did my leaves using the same evergreen. Then I just used a little bit of apple green just to lighten those up a little bit there. And then for my dahlia pieces, I used that same lagoon and that same canary yellow. So what we're going to do here is doing a little bit of assembling. All right, so for this, I assembled them in the same way and I wanted to make sure, so there we go, that I offset these pieces just as before. My petals are going to be curving up. Go. And I have 2 large and 2 small. There we go. Get this foam block out again, my ball tool, and just kind of do that so that it just sort of gets that domed shape. Rather, I keep calling it domed, but it's not. It's like a bowl shape. It's concaved. All right, so we get into that part right there. And then we've got these lovely little stamens. These are yellow ones, and they come in sort of a pearlized and also this matte finish. Now I use the matte ones. I just took my little scissors and I just cut off like half of one end, cut them pretty short, and then I would just hold these in groups of 4 or 5, and then just put little bits of, like a clump of glue on there, of hot glue. You want to use hot glue because you want these things to dry pretty quickly. Here we go. I've got my little stems, putting on a little daub of glue, and then I'm just going to stick those right in amongst those. Just so you have a little cluster there at the center where that yellow part of your yellow center is right there. And once I got that done, I glued that to the center and then just began working by pulling in my leaves like this. Just gluing those in, just like that. And that all came together really nicely. So you guys, we have got a great money saver on this collection. And if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes, oh, I forgot, you guys, forgot to finish this. Here we've got our 8 labels for your greetings cutting dies. That's this part right here, cut it out of white cardstock. Inked it a little bit with that same Blue Lagoon, just took my dauber, went around the edges, and then did Hope Your Birthday Blooms with Happiness, just stamped that in that same Blue Lagoon, and then glued that right there. Used that little bug, remember, and just colored that with some yellow and blue, and then foam taped that. So there we go. Okay, so back to the money saver. So we've got a great money saver. If you're watching us on our vlog page at paperwishes.com, it's on the right-hand side. Don't forget about the photo gallery featuring all the supply lists and the photos for all of these. That's right below this video. And also that drop-down menu, you'll notice, has all of the supplies listed individually. So if you're not interested in that money saver, check those out. If you're watching us on YouTube, check the description box below the video. You'll see a link to take you to the Paper Wishes vlog page, and you'll see everything I just mentioned. And if you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. It helps people find us on the channel. And if you're not subscribed, why don't you consider doing that too? Because we do 3 to 5 videos a week, and if you don't subscribe, you might miss out. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time.